Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again for an exploration of 2.5's We Wa Reset. And the purpose of this video over here is to do a bunch of testing with this recent iteration of the game mode. It is safe to say that this version of Infinite Torrents, essentially, right, the ultimate end game, the ultimate like final stage of Whimpering Wastes is severely not balanced to the degree where pretty much everybody is struggling unless they're using the meta teams in this circumstance. And what we're trying to find out today is, are the tokens broken because of the effects that they have? Are the tokens too strong? Or is it a matter of the new units are too strong? Or, and this is the third theory that's going on, does it turn out that this damage taken by enemies is increased by 50%? Is that not working? Is that not registering? So we're going to be doing a bunch of tests with those teams that I was talking about before. We're going to run a Lupa and Chang Li and Brant team with this bad boy. We're going to be running a Yinlin Electro team perhaps with this one, or a Jian team as well. And then we're also going to be running, of course, the Frolova team with this bad boy. And then without any of these gold tokens for all of those three lineups, using some of either the purple or the blue options instead. And then we'll see how the clear actually goes. First things first, we got to set the control, right? We got to set the baseline. What does Whimpering Wastes feel like when you're going ahead and you're just optimizing everything that's going on? So let's just go ahead, run our Frolova, Rosia, Cantarella team with this. You're going to be seeing over here, very good build on the Frolova. 97.8, 271, 2.4K. Rosia's over here with a good build as well. She's going to be running, of course, Midnight Veil. And then we're going to have Cantarella over here on Empyrene Anthem. And this is what her stat line is going to be looking like. And she's going to be on... Oh, I should probably put on Stringmaster. She was using Luminous. She was using Phoebe's weapon the whole time. Rosia's going to be on Tragic Comedy. And, of course, Frolova's going to be on her signature. That's going to be team number one, test number one. Now let's get on into what the other side is going to be looking like. This is going to be a Brant Chang Li Lupa with their Whispers from Dim Abyss. 129, 73.1, 284.4. Pretty good build on Lupa. Great build on the Brant. And then a decent build on the Chang Li. Her attack is a little bit higher. That's what the lineups are going to be looking like. They're all going to be on their best in slots. This team in particular is like stacked. All S0 R1, but they're all going to have their weapons. So let's give this one a go. And then we'll be trying this without the gold tokens to see how untuned or crazy it actually is. So just starting off, doing our cancel over here, building up those chords, right? And now we got our big hit into the Liberation. And now Rosia's gonna come in, do her bounces, and you can see over here, right? The damage is getting pretty damn crazy. And we're just gonna stay on Rosia for a little bit longer to be able to activate our Liberation. And we make sure we get Cantarellas as well. That's why having the high ER is nice on these units. And now we're back onto her. Getting off all of our cancels. And now big hit. Boom. Eliminate some waves. And you can see over here, right? This clear is going very well. And we're just doing the same combos. And you can see over here, I can't really tell what's going on, but I don't think I need to because everything is dying. This is, without a doubt, one of the best, if not the best, Whimpering Wastes teams in the game. Because one part about Frolova's kit that I'm not sure a lot of people know is that her design actually makes it so that the longer a fight goes on, the more crit damage she ends up building up through her after sound stacks. And what happens is that, oh dear. What happens is that, well, by the end of the fight, you're kind of destroying everything.
Voice of Siren.
So yeah, you can see over here, a lot of that synergy with the Havoc Echo skills and that entire dynamic is leading us to get quite a score. Almost 4.5k. I kind of bungled the rotation closer to the end. I probably could have gotten enough another Forte, but I think 4.5k, which is the score required to just get the full rewards on one side, is pretty fair. Or, sorry, not fair. Is pretty fucking good. This is not really a score that many people are seeing, even playing both sides. But as you can see, with that token and with that team, all S0R1, we wiped it. So that is going to be the control. Now let's look at what the Fusion team is looking like. All right, we start off with the Lupa Liberation. Okay, Brett just flew off into Africa there. Not sure. Okay, and he did the same exact thing there too.
Nice try. Listen carefully.
Together we vanish.
And as you can see, this team also has some pretty good wave clear.
Perish in flames. Take form.
And I'm like delaying parts of my rotation a little bit to hit the enemies. The end result is that I might not get my Lupa enhanced intro. It's not a crazy problem to not get your enhanced intro if you're like saving attacks for when more enemies pop up.
At the helm. Climax of the show. Keep it together.
And we get some big booms from Brant. Very nice.
My blade yearns. Beckon the divine.
And some more big booms from Chang Li.
Take form.
Applaud for me! With me! To victory! With me! Together we howl! I'll end you!
Epic shot.
And not getting the enhanced intros can sometimes make it a little bit rough for Lupa to get her full concerto rotation off, which is like kind of the only unfortunate part. But yeah, it's one of the trade-offs that I think you have to make in Weewa if you're like trying to get
Hey, Mac.
Together we vanish.
Different role.
as many ways as possible in. And I think we're just going to liberate with Chang Li here.
Bird now.
And we get, let's just look at the total score using tokens, all of that, 8k. Around 8k total with the tokens, with the best in slot teams for this reset. So let's go back and let's talk about what these tokens are actually doing to get results like this. This is the token that we used on the Frolova team. And what it does is it gives you 40% Havoc damage for casting Echo skills 2 times. And the Havoc team is the only team in the game that can do that. You can't use the same Echo, so like Nightmare Crownless on Camellia doesn't work. And then as you have 2 stacks after using the 2 Echo skills, the next instance of damage you do gives you an 800% Havoc damage to nearby targets in an AoE every 5 seconds. And Frolova is activating this all of the time, basically off cooldown, because she's always using Echo skills. Maybe the thing is that each Resonator has their own 5-second cooldown, and that's why this Havoc team ends up steamrolling all of the content. I think that's one of the reasons for why it's happening. Each Resonator has its own cooldown. That's around 2,400% Havoc damage that's being done every 5 seconds. Kind of ridiculous once you think about it. And then for this team over here, Whispers from the Dim Abyss, what we got going on is you got that 25% fusion damage bonus, And then every single time you use your liberation, you're dealing 15% fusion 1500% to nearby targets every 2 seconds, but you can only do it twice every time you cast a liberation. So that's why Lupa looks like she's doing a lot of damage. And then the Brant and the Chang Li, they got that fire wave coming out, right? And then like obliterating entire, groups of enemies. So you can see over here, when interacting with those tokens, we got a really, really, really good score. But what happens now, right? When we just decide, okay, what if we just use this classic red token instead? Just a straight up damage amplification of 25%. Let's try to play these teams in the exact same ways and see what it does. But the thing is, my gameplay is going to vary. Because, like I mentioned before, it's good in Whimpering Wastes to, like, use your basic attacks, throw in, like, an echo skill, blah, 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 do all of that stuff to finish off the last 1 or 2 enemies of a wave so that you can go ahead, right, and use your big nuke or your big AoE attack on more enemies. And when I'm dealing less damage, I might have to do that whole basic attack shtick more to actually get a better score. So that's something to keep in mind. That's like a decision that I'll have to make on the fly. So it's not like the rotations are going to be exactly the same, because that would lead to way less optimal results. So we'll be doing the best that we can with the tokens that aren't as strong. So let's do some testing over here and see what it looks like.
Cadence, pulse, it is ready.
So let's try it again while making sure that we do that attack that I just did every single time. Kind of the same. We took a little bit longer on Rosia, but that allowed Cantarella to gain some extra energy. So we kind of like just had the same exact rotation time over there. Not really an issue.
Cadence, halt. Whales, rejoicing.
All right, we got off our big hit, and you can see over there, that damage was... That was one-shotting waves before. And you can see our score is not really looking that good, boys. We're at 1K. We're at 1K, boys. At the halfway mark.
Annihilation. Thus you're in it is ready. Echoes. Witness.
It's not looking particularly great. I'm gonna be honest with you. And this is what, and this is possibly the best Whimpering Waste team in the game. The score is not awful or terrible for sure. It'll pass if you run this on both sides. But it's a far cry from what we were doing before.
Rejoicing. Chant. Songs of birds. Aerial stunt. Mamma mia.
Score is getting cracked now.
Improv. Performance. I'll warm up the crowd.
Honestly, now that you mention it, yeah, 3.8K is not that bad. 3.8K is actually pretty good. It started off really slow, and then it started, like, amping up. And maybe that's the thing. You remember that mechanic that I was talking about before with Frolova, and how her after sound stacks are giving her more and more critical damage as the fight goes on? I think that's why, after the 1 minute mark, the clears start getting a lot better. And that's naturally going to apply for the other token side as well. I would say this is more of like a Frolova thing, because of how her after sound actually works. She gains like more and more crit damage as every single rotation keeps going on. And now, I am really skeptical about how this team is going to perform. Maybe it'll do really good, right?
Together we vanish. Clear as the blaze. Cover. Take form.
The damage is suffering right now, brother.
Applaud for me. Lackluster with me.
Oh, the damage is suffering right now.
Break darkness. With me.
Epic shot.
Oh, it's suffering right now. Holy moly.
Attack us one.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think that this team might be a little bit cooked. I'll use a bug. I'll use a bug.
Together we vanish.
That's a tip that you can do for Brant.
Clear as the blaze.
That's a tip that you can do for Brant.
Mind's eye.
I want to see what the score is, even with using that tech.
To sinners. Take form. Tip of me.
I still think it's not going to be that great.
At the helm. Climax of the show.
We're at 2,000. Let's see what the time is left. With 30 seconds left.
Listen carefully.
We can probably subtract like a cool like 500. Maybe.
Together we vanish. My blade yearns. Sever. Take form. Who's the caged bird now?
So without the anchor hack, I think that's a 2.5. 2.2, because we just deleted 3 waves with that bug. I think that score goes down to like 2.2, if not less. I did the bug at 900 and ended up at 1500, so subtract 600, then that's a 2.2k, and that is not enough for an S if you do it 2 times. If you get a 2.2 and you get it twice, you're not eligible for the full rewards. So I think this is the thing, right? I think that this team in particular is just incredibly strong in Whimpering Wastes due to the design of Weewa mandating that you play for 2 minutes, right? To fully clear it. And the mechanic that I'm talking about for Lova is her aftersound stacks. Obtain 10 stacks of aftersound upon entering battle. For every 1 stack of aftersound, crit damage is increased by 2.5%. When aftersound reaches its max, each new stack increases her crit damage by 1% up to 100%. And during a Weewa clear, believe me, you're capping this out because you have 24 max stacks, and then you're getting way more. Because each time a teammate does an echo skill attack, and then Hecate ends up using her enhanced attacks after a teammate does one, then what that's going to do is actually grant you one of your aftersound stacks. Lova can hold up to 24 stacks of aftersounds when she's not the active resonator, and Hecate uses any of her enhanced attacks, which are triggered by your teammates using echo skills, then she gains a stack. And that's happening a lot in Whimpering Wastes. And the end result is that you're building up a shit ton of crit damage. And that's why it appears that Lova teams, with how unbalanced this Weewa reset is, I believe that is why Lova teams are kind of the only ones that feel okay. They're the only ones that actually feel good because currently, I think she's the only unit in the game that dramatically increases their power as the length of the fight goes on. The only one who really does that, right? Because in TOA, you're clearing it in like, what, a minute? In holograms, sure, it might be helpful too, but you can clear those relatively fast as well. In Weewa, you have to play the whole 2 minutes and try to kill as many enemies as possible. And she's like perfectly designed for that because of how aftersound works. And when you're using a team that doesn't have that sort of like dragged on, built up mechanic, well, we saw that it's effectively like a sub 2.5k score when we didn't use the shield token. So it's a combination of both. If you're using Lova, you don't need the shield token because her kit is designed for Whimpering Wastes. If you're not using Lova, then you need the shield token. Otherwise, you literally don't do enough damage because it seems that the HP has actually gone up too much, or the enemies have too much resistance, or something like that? Or, and this is the final test that we'll be doing, ladies and gentlemen, or is there a chance that this damage taken by enemies is increased by 50%, which is a Weewa exclusive buff? Is there a chance that this just straight up isn't working? And so, why don't we test that? Why don't we put a Glacial damage bonus on our Filova over here and start comparing some damage numbers? Because this is the only buff that's going to be active. Let's just see how much a hit does. And let's just see how much damage her Forte Circuit ends up dealing.
You fall. Symphony of life.
All right, maybe we'll be able to see it.
Rejoicing.
That was about a 119. That was a 119k. And our Filova has close to 100% crit rate. Now let's go into the TOA and see what that damage looks like when we just drop it on a boss with no Havoc resistance and no actual buffs. Arrow and Electro Res, we should be able to test here. We're just looking for that Forte damage.
Thus numerous Domo. Symphony of life.
All right, on the bear. And that was 79k. So we saw a 79k on those prisms with no buff active. So it does appear that the Weewa environment, the 50% damage bonus, that is working. The only thing is it appears that the mobs now have gotten way fucking tankier. So tanky to the point where Filova feels like probably the only accessible team to do it because her damage ramps up over the course of a fight. And so that is it, ladies and gentlemen. They HP inflated the fuck out of Whimpering Wastes. And the end result is that it has become very difficult to clear unless you have a token that works with the team that you're using. And Filova is currently, I do believe, one of the only teams in the game that can work through the design of the mobs being way tankier because of her stacking, ramping damage mechanic. And the thing is, I think this is an easy fix, right? You just simply ask Kuro to make the mobs less tanky, or you do this. Perhaps there's a universe where this Whimpering Waste reset would have been balanced if a certain token was back in the game. The gospel that receives harmonized praise, we need this back in the game. This is what that token did. After casting an intro skill, increases crit rate of all resonators by 40% and crit damage by 80%. This was just a gold token that was available for every single team. And then in Infinite Torrents, it would be usable an infinite number of times on both sides. And what this token does is it essentially just amplifies greatly the damage of a team, every single character in it. It should just be permanent at this point, and this is the thing. I think that if you decide to keep the mobs as tanky as they are, I think it's okay if you add this token back into the game, because this will elevate the damage of every single team that is not able to use these tokens. And when currently the tokens are kind of the only way to get a usable clear time, or you use Filova, and then Filova has her own token as well, the game mode is actually pretty fucking pay to win at the moment. And the solution is this easy. It's this simple. Put this back in if the HP of the mobs is going to be this high, or you reduce the tankiness of these motherfuckers if you're not going to put that token in the game and you're not going to keep it there. But we can't have this situation over here where the mobs are this tanky and you need these gold tokens to have a chance. It's too much. And I just think at this point, it needs to be hot fixed. This is what a clear looks like using purple tokens. Very free-to-play friendly teams for Camellia and Gion. They're both going to be on their signature with some good builds, and then the other supports are going to be, you know, they're just going to be on Moonlit or Empyrene. And remember, these are tier 0 units. They're considered the best Whimpering Waste characters, at least on this reset.
Stay behind. Bloom from ashen shell.
I don't even want to. Let me try this again. That felt so bad. Maybe I just open up with Ephemeral and that one's better.
Crimson blossom.
Okay, maybe we do it buffed because that's not going to kill anything. Get back over here, buddy!
Entertain me.
Let's have fun. Let's have fun.
I was 1 minute in and my score was 500. Do you see what I'm telling you now? If you're getting a good score with this team in this reset, you are crit fishing so that you're wiping every single wave. That is, let's just say that doesn't feel particularly good.
Stay
Could
behind
have
me.
a bloom from ashen shell.
Stay behind me. Shackles be gone.
Life is in everything.
Stay behind me.
Reborn from ancient roots.
Bro!
Don't run. Keep the dance going.
Like, these chop chops are just casually eating, right? Like 200k liberations and then losing like half of their HP.
Fun.
Brother, what am I to do here?
It's getting fun.
Stay behind me. Lotus pervade.
Ha! Roll from bask in the sunlight. The fruit of evolution.
Stay behind me. A change of
Bloom from ashen. Feed my blossoms, self-deceivers. Let's have fun. Crimson, it's getting fun.
Okay. Great. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Yeah, maybe hitting that ephemeral would have been really good.
Let's have
But at this point,
stay behind me. Shackles be gone.
I think you guys already get the message. There is something deeply wrong with how tanky the mobs are this reset.
the fruit of evolution. A sprout of budding seeds.
A change.
Reborn from ancient struggle.
There's something
harder.
deeply wrong with whatever is going on over here. Let's just be entirely honest with ourselves.
Let's have fun. Mm-mm.
And yes, there might be a universe where somebody got 3k, but when my fully built Camellia's Ephemeral is dealing that much damage with every single buff, yeah, I don't really care what you're doing. I don't care if you did it. I know I'm doing things right, and I'll have to do this like 7,000 fucking times to get a decent score. So, yeah, no, Camellia feels like shit on side 1. It's an S0R1. Now let's go ahead, let's take a look at the Gion team. And maybe, right, this one will do better.
As you wish.
In war with time.
Fury boils. Feel my wrath. Let's ready for battle. Fear no more. Another way. Now.
Oath from the heart. Worry not.
Inferno.
I engraft you new. Flow.
Fury boils. Burn. Lend me your power. Burn to ashes. Let's do this another way. You're wide open. Unstoppable.
Okay.
Ordain. Stay calm. Astral modulation.
Fury boils. Burn. Feel my wrath. Let's do ready for battle. Another way. Lend me no power. Break. Vanilla.
Vow from the soul.
Work.
To see a score only at 17k right now, like after I'm doing like these fucking 20k ticks on my liberation is insane. I'm gonna be real with you, man.
This another way. Lend me your power.
Like for Gion, this score is unforgivably fucking bad.
Leave it to me.
Oh, I think I forgot to use a shorekeeper. I mean, it's like, okay, I know I forgot that my last shorekeeper liberation, I didn't use her outro skill. The ticks were doing 18k damage instead of 20. And this is the thing, right? That maybe bumps my score up to like 2.2. 2.3. But if I'm doing Qinglong cancels, sweaty ass quick swap rotations with Mortifi and Shorekeeper, optimizing that shit, and I'm getting like less than 3k, brother, it's not balanced. There's something deeply wrong with this fucking reset. I know I messed up at the end there, right? No gold Stellar round because Shorekeeper was at 100% concerto. Brother, they have too much HP. So hopefully this overview, hopefully this video, where we've done all of the testing, shown the different gameplay, shown the differences, shown the weaknesses, and where the fixes can come from. Hopefully this has advised all of you on the feedback that you can send to Kuro Games, what you can put on the reports, what you can be posting on the Reddits, stuff like that, because ladies and gentlemen, it's broken right now. This is fucked up. We all know that Kuro listens. I hope they listen very fast for this one, because I don't think a lot of people are actually able to clear this fucking thing. It's only like the first or second day out of 30 for this reset, but the sooner it gets fixed, the better. Let me know what you all thought about this one. Peace.